Guys, so it's Michelle. I could not go to bed without fixing an oops that happened on air tonight. So Patriot Gallery, our mom, came out and she was folding laundry because the computer had died. And she said something, I don't know, about flatulence. I have no idea. So anyway, a lot of you that are here were here just a bit ago when we went live. So this is my this is my apology. I have to fix something that happened during the live broadcast this evening. A lot of times when we're going live and I am trying to monitor the emails and the all the software and stuff, and I'm trying to listen and respond to Leah at the same time, I have too much. I have too many processes going on in my head. And I had seen an email that popped in with a comment that I wasn't going to read just because it referenced flatulence. And we're just not we're not crude people like that, until then my mom said something. Oh, okay, fine, then I'll read this email that had that in there. So I go to read the email, and I'm not going to repeat it. You guys were there. But the email return address, or the person that sent it obviously is a mock name, should have been my first, given that this is not something that I should have been taking seriously. But it was a joke against Anderson Cooper, who is a homosexual. And after we went live, after we signed off, and I went back and I reread it, it was like one of the first things that I did, because I was like, I didn't get that. I mean, I read it, but I still don't get it. So then I read it back, and those of you that were there that got it, that I was sitting in the chair and I was like, oh no, like I wanted to curl up and die. I just couldn't believe that not only had I read it on air, but I didn't get it at the time because I had too much else going on in my mind. I wished that I could have corrected it at the time, but I didn't. And so all night long, I've just been mortified going around the house like I cannot believe that I read that out loud on air. It was a very unkosher, awful joke, in my opinion. No, it just was. Regardless of my opinion, it was really bad. So I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was talking to my mom, and she's like, I think that you should, I put a disclaimer in the comment section of the video when I uploaded it to Mass Faith 3 and when it was on Resistance Chicks. And that was not good enough for me. Like, I just didn't feel right about it. And I kept thinking, I need to just go up and just go live and like get real with my people. You guys are my people. And just make this right. But I didn't want to do that. Like I did, but I didn't. And then my mom's like, I think you should just go up in there and just make a video. And I was like, okay, well, that's confirmation. You're right. I probably should go and do that. But I was reminded of Ephesians 5. I know a lot of you guys in the comments are saying, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We make mistakes. And you're right. But the Bible talks about fleeing all appearances of evil. And anyway, I was reminded of Ephesians 5. And it says, be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love, even as Christ hath loved us, and hath given his life for us, to be an offering and a sacrifice of sweet smelling odor to God. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as it becometh the saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, neither coarse jesting, which are things not comely, but rather giving of thanks. Now, I always read out of the Geneva Bible these days, and the study note there for the coarse jesting says, jests which men cast one at another, and this was at a one another, it was at another person. It was at Anderson Cooper. That no lightness be seen, nor evil example given, nor any offense moved by evil words or backbiting. So yeah, we may make fun of Anderson Cooper. I don't even know where this came from. Where this person was just we didn't even mention Anderson Cooper tonight. We may make fun of him because of his liberal stances on things. But never ever in a million years would I make a coarse jesting joke about this person. It would never come out of my mouth. It would never come into my mind. So I just wanted to come up here before I went to bed and just say that I am terribly, terribly sorry for this error. And it was not, obviously, and if I had been thinking clearly and not had so much else on my mind while we were going live, I would have caught it and I wouldn't have read it. But because I had a lot of other things going and I'm trying to pay attention and react to Leah, it just didn't even hit me what this person was saying. So, Eric Butler says, never apologize, but I understand. I just had to come to you guys to make this right. So anyway, I did not mean to read that out loud. This is a family-friendly show, and I'm quite offended, to be honest with you, at whoever sent it, because anybody that has ever watched at least 3 minutes of our show knows who we are, and knows that that's just not at all. And so I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of an offense thrown at us. So I'm not okay with that. I'm definitely not okay. And we get crazy stuff all the time. But I don't know. This one kind of takes the cake. And the fact that I fell for it because I wasn't thinking straight because we were going live makes me feel even worse. So anyway, I love you guys, and I would never intentionally put something like that on our show. And I know most of you get it, and you're not upset or offended at, at what happened. I had immediately sent a message to Justin Hughes, worth a look, because I knew that he was still awake, and he laughed. He said, I knew that you didn't know what you were saying because you would never have said that. And I think most of you guys probably understand that and get that. But just in case, I still felt it was really important to come to you because I had to get it off my chest. And I don't even know how many of you are actually going to see this video that I'm making, my apology, or even read the comment. But I still definitely feel better coming to you personally to tell you that I'm really sorry that I messed up that one. I try to screen everything and make sure nothing gets passed that isn't right. So anyway, there is that. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go to bed now, actually, which is what I was headed to do. And I probably would have laid, and I'll probably still lay here tossing and turning, thinking about how I just can't. It was so bad. I feel like I'm on the verge of laughter because it's so ridiculous. And tears. Like I wanted to cry. I was so mortified. I literally wanted to cry, but it was so ridiculous that that would come out of my mouth. That I would say it. And what's even better is that my mom didn't catch it. Leah didn't catch it. And I think that is a really good example of where our minds are at in our house, because our minds aren't there. So, and that's cool. I like that. That I can at least be okay with. The fact that I didn't get it at first. I did get it after when I read it really slowly. But all right, so I'm going to sign off here. I'm probably just stumbling over my words at this point from sheer embarrassment. Okay, guys, I love you, and I'm glad that I have a Resistance Chicks family that I can just come to immediately and be like, dude, guys, this is how I feel. I'm upset. Help me feel better. I just can't get over it. I'm so mortified. All right. The fact that you didn't catch it says everything. A Squirrel says, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Tawana Lynn says, love from Alabama. Good night, girl. You did nothing wrong. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Sook says, I missed the end, so I missed it. If people that know you don't forgive, then they really don't know you. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Brian. And you have to know us. I mean, obviously, the fact that it was so deadpan, I was just uncomfortable because I don't, jokes about flatulence alone is kind of not my thing either. So that's why I looked uncomfortable, not because I got it. Trust me, if I had gotten it on air, y'all would have been, I mean, the face would have been, yeah, it would have been much, much worse. I probably would have blown the whistle and threw a flag on that play, like 20 million flags. If I had caught it right then and there, because that's what I literally went around the house. Like my mom was downstairs doing laundry and I ran down the stairs. She thought somebody had like died or injured themselves or cut their hand off the way I was reacting. I was like, Mom, you won't believe this. And I was in the kitchen and I actually had to read it out loud to Leah really slowly because I was like, Leah, no, listen. I said the next time I go to read a joke on air, just say no, just stop me. Just stop. Just stop me right then. And she's like, Michelle, what are you talking about? And I was like, no, seriously. I couldn't even get it out. And then when I had read it back, she was like, oh, she's like, I want to die. I was like, yeah, you didn't read it. I'm the one that read it out loud. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to bed now. Y'all should too. It's late. I love you guys. Good night.